Peace and welcome, family. It is your girl, Desiree D. Ray Wise. Oh, and boy, do we have a very juicy, a very provocative, a very raunchy and risque conversation we got to have tonight, okay? Conversation we got to have tonight. Listen, if you or any woman you know has been considering whether or not you should join the Liberate Womb De-armoring workshop happening this Sunday, honey, this build today is going to really give you the understanding on why that class, that workshop is absolutely necessary. Okay? Period. When this download started coming to me, y'all, I was hearing this song that came out a little while ago. Y'all have heard it. Snatched. His soul. Have y'all heard that? It was like so popular on TikTok. And the song was like, he wanna dive in it, he wanna dive in it, snatched. His soul. Have y'all heard that song, or is it just me? When the song came out, I made a whole video about it. Y'all haven't heard that one? It's pretty toxic. And it's some young ladies talking about how they snatch a man's soul. And it's so off kilt to what actually happens when men and women come together sexually. In fact, this is so juicy. A woman never has to snatch a man's soul. I mean, I get what they're trying to say, right? I think what they're trying to say is that she is so intoxicating. She is so powerful that he just explodes essentially. Girl, but you ain't snatched his toes. His toes may have curled and he may have made the ugliest face. But the reality is that men are designed to willingly give you their energy and their life force. Men want to give you their information. Now, the issue with that is that there are many men out here and many women receiving lackluster, trash, low vibrational information. Now, please understand that there is an exchange of energy when both men and women come together. And women definitely do impact a man's mental, emotional, spiritual health. Women 100% do. But because when men and women come together sexually, because the man is actually entering this vessel of the woman, the impact on him, his spirituality, his mental, his emotional, is not as intense as it is for a woman, because as women, we are the receptacles. As women, we are the vessels. As women, we are the receivers. So we're taking in, all right? So sexuality doesn't impact a man the same way that it impacts a woman. Energetically, spiritually, emotionally. What would affect a man more than sex with a woman is her mental abilities. If she know how to play mind games, if she knows how to use words a certain way, if she makes him have to think once, twice, three times, that is more impactful on the overall male's energy than sex is. Okay? So we got to talk about this today because, over the last year or so, understanding soul ties, womb armor, and the aura that women have has been so important for me. Like, ladies, do you really understand? Let me know in the chat. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, answer this question for me. Do you all recognize that your sexual organs have an aura? Do y'all realize that? Do you realize that essentially we are walking, talking, sexual, energetic beings. And when I say sexual, it really is creative energy, right? It is creative energy. And people are saying, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Well, let me explain it to you. Let's say you are out to eat and this woman comes in, and I mean, we've all experienced, being out. Maybe it's at a club, maybe it's at a bar, maybe it's at a restaurant, and this woman walks in and she has this illustrious, sensual energy that, I mean, both men and women are looking at her like, who is this freaking empress, right? You've seen that before, where a woman could walk into a room and something about her energy just screams sex or sensuality. That's an aura that she is projecting, right? That's an energy that she is projecting. And the same thing with men. Totally it has a man's energy, hence why Big Lotto came out with the song. I could tell you got big energy. It ain't too many that can handle me. How does one even come up with that song if there were not an energetic signature that was being radiated based off of your sexual energy and nature? You understand what I mean? And so what I want you all to understand is that this powerful, magnificent, ultra creative energy that we have is oftentimes blocked, sheltered, shielded, or just overall misinterpreted because your energy is actually being impacted by someone else's energy, right? And exactly like Jenny just said this, so true. She says sometimes some of us don't want that part to show. Exactly. Sometimes some of us don't actually want that part to show, but you know that it is actually there. And so you energetically shelter yourself from that. And now, again, you have to think about this from a higher level as well. This is not just sexual energy like a horny dog with a little pink thing sticking out. And this ain't that. This is also your creative life force chi energy, which is why it's so important. It's deeper than your sexuality and your connecting with a man or a woman and being able to groove with each other in that way. This is your expression of your own uniqueness. This is your never ending reservoir of creative energy that could be used for anything. Your sexual energy as a man and as a woman can be used for whatever you like it for. See, you could overexhaust your mental energy. Okay? You could overexhaust your mental energy. We've all done it before where you're thinking so much and you're like, "Oh my God, I'm done. I'm ready to stop thinking." Right? Your heart energy, your kidney energy, these things run out and they need to be replenished. Your sexual energy never runs out. This is why women could have up to 400 babies if she really wanted to within her lifetime. Men could have up to 5,000 kids if he wanted to in his lifetime. That's because there's an endless supply of energy here. The issue is that when you become sexually connected and you would not even, I'm gonna break this down for y'all so beautifully, but when you become connected to someone, your energy becomes influenced by theirs, especially for women. All right? Especially for women, your energy becomes impacted. Y'all are saying some good stuff. Somebody brought up Sexy Red. Thank you for reminding me of that because I'm going to bring her up because we got to talk about it. All right? If y'all ready to keep going into this topic, put a 1 in the chat, okay? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all want to keep going, moving on. Let's get into the juiciness of it, okay? That was just an introduction. That was just an introduction, okay? That was just a little intro into the topic. So after we get through this today, some of you women are going to be like, oh shit, I really need to join this class, okay? Yes, yes. All right. Appreciate y'all. Let's keep going. And shout out to all the Patreon members because I see y'all in here. Shout out to the Patreon. Y'all showing up. Love y'all. And y'all probably want to share this video with your family and, well, probably not family, but with people who find it interesting. This is a good one to share. All right, let's get into the juiciness. So whenever we create these soul ties, right, which is just this energetic connection, first of all, you have to understand that you have soul ties with a lot of people. You have a soul tie with your children. And the beautiful thing about the soul tie with the children, or the soul tie from the mother to the child, the beautiful thing about that is the umbilical cord is the physical representation of that soul tie. So you can look at the umbilical cord, how it's structured, how it's shaped. Energetically, we have that same thing with people who we become intimate with. Not just sexually, I'm talking about mentally, spiritually, emotionally. People we share a bond with, we create these energetic ties or these energetic umbilical cords with them. And the deep part about it is that these cords can be connected to different parts of your body. For women, these cords connect to our hearts and they connect to our wombs. So you have to understand that. And then when you become sexually active with a person, and let's say you've been with this person for a year, 2 years, 3 years, however long, the stronger that cord, the stronger that connection becomes, right? You can't just cut it because you like, oh, I want to be done with this person. I'm cutting this person off. I'm cutting off soul ties, right? People always try to do that and you don't have the right understanding of what that actually is. It's deeper than that. In fact, it is soul ties that make people reincarnate and have a different form of a relationship with a person. That's why your mama may have been your brother or your sister in a past life, right? That's why your husband could have been your child in a past life. It's because of the soul ties. The soul ties are cosmic. It is not just something that is existing in this physical realm. And you like, oh, I broke up with them. I let him go, so it's done. No, it ain't, sis. That's not how that works. You have to do the in-depth spiritual work. Just because you want to be done with somebody does not mean that you have energetically disconnected from them. All right? That's what we're getting into today. You got to understand that. So we're going to talk about how to begin healing from body snatch and soul ties. The reason why Spirit gave me body snatching is because literally, ladies, I'm going to show y'all this. Literally, when you become energetically tied to a man, his energetic signature can hijack your body. And I'm explaining that a little bit more later. But not only that, when you become intimate with somebody and it is consistent, now don't get me wrong, there are men whose bodies has also been snatched. And what I mean by that is there's this spiritual energy. Maybe it's depression, maybe it's addiction, maybe it's narcissism. What I mean by that is there's this spiritual energy, maybe it's manipulate, who knows what it is. These things are all spirits that inhabit a person's body. So if a young man experienced abuse, he may embody a spirit that is abusive. And he may project that spirit onto other people, onto women, onto whoever, onto his own children, if you understand what I mean. So this could happen to anybody. All right. I want to make sure that that's clear. But what needs to happen right now for a lot of women is you have to call back your essence from these low vibrational beings and entities. All right. That's what we're here to do. That's what we're talking about right now. So when I'm talking about body snatching, what I'm talking about is this energy integrating into your body, changing the way you think, changing the way you feel, changing the way you act. Okay. Have you ladies ever been? And let me tell you the truth. This can happen for better or for worse. We're going to talk about it, but this can happen for better or for worse. It doesn't have to always be, oh, you got into this relationship with this person and now you're insecure, even though that happens. Have y'all witnessed stuff like that before? Maybe this woman was super confident. She was vibrant. She was in her bag. You can't tell her nothing. She becomes intimate with this specific person who probably is insecure, who probably got some stuff going on inside of himself, and that spirit jumps into her body, and now she's insecure. She never dealt with insecurity. She always felt beautiful. Man. And I think, you know what I feel like, y'all? I was thinking about this kind of last night. It was blowing my mind. Is that I think both men and women take that power for granted. We take the power of the womb for granted. The fact that the womb it's a vault, essentially. A woman's womb is a vault. It holds on to everything unless you are very intentional about releasing it and letting it go. That is just the facts. And you want to know why? I'm going to talk about this in the Liberate Womb De-armoring workshop happening this Sunday. I'm going to talk about it in detail, but I just want to share it a little bit with y'all right now, especially for the brothers, so you understand. The reason why a woman's womb, Spirit gave me this last night, y'all. And I've been teaching womb alchemy for about 7. I've had 8. This upcoming womb alchemy that's going to be happening soon, I've probably had about 9. We'll probably make 9 sessions. And Spirit just gave this to me so clearly like 2 days ago. The reason why a woman's womb, or one reason why we as women, why our wombs are a vault and it holds on to all experiences, is because we are seeking to understand the world better. Why? Because we are the creators of everything in this world, as women, as that divine feminine energy. And so as we take in all of the shit, all of the pleasure, all of the pain, all of the ecstasy, all of the abuse, as we take all of that in as women, as that divine feminine energy, we are like on a spiritual energetic level, we are like sorting and sifting through everything, trying to get an understanding on what is what, because we ultimately know that everything is being birthed from us. It's like why you chose to become a human and have this experience. It's because you understand that experiencing joy and experiencing pain is adding value to you at the soul level. And so as women, we take in all of this information because we know it is valuable on so many multidimensional levels. Okay? That's a whole side note that is going to be, that is like so deep, like Spirit had me just like, what? We do that because what? We just want to understand the world better because we got to create this. We as the women have to take in these experiences because if we do, we understand what needs to be changed, what needs to be transformed, what alchemy needs to happen, hence the class womb alchemy, what alchemy needs to happen to create a better reality, to create a better world. So we got to take it in, ingest it, okay? Gestate it, hold on to it, do the work, go through the 9-month process to birth something new. But if you're not conscious, which is why Liberate Womb De-armoring workshop is so important, because if you're not conscious, you won't do the alchemy and birth something new. You'll birth that man's toxic seed. Oh, I know. Let's all take a deep breath, okay? Let's just all take a deep breath. Honey, I'm going to finish this bottle of water before I get out of here because I'm telling y'all, this shit is so deep and I'm just like, all right, Spirit, well, if I'm the messenger, then let me deliver the message, all right? Let's keep going. Oh, y'all, I love this picture, okay? I love this picture. Do y'all see this? This is really a gift, so I'm mad that it's not working, but the skeleton is like kissing her from the back. Right? The skeleton is like, girl, I love you. He ain't got no meat on them bones. All he got to offer is a bag of bones. What's she doing getting all loved up by him? Okay? But that's what be happening. So let's talk about these two. Y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think is happening with these two. I'm gonna tell you a little bit of backstory that I heard about them. Um, First of all, a lot of people are thinking that Jada is crazy, and I will tell you, from the outside looking in, she absolutely does look so. I mean, she does look like I don't know, right? I don't even know the word to use. I can't even. It's so deep I can't even put my finger on it. But Spirit gave me this now. Yes, it's absolutely none of our business, but I need to express this to y'all so that you understand. A lot of times women are in, and I'm not saying that this is exactly their case, but I'm giving perspective, which is what I need y'all to understand. Because I guarantee you, because I've spoke to many women about it already, I guarantee you that there are women who have been in long-term relationships like Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. I don't know how long they've actually been married. I know they got grown kids. Let's see how long they've been together technically. How long or when did they get married? I know they got married in like the 90s or something, right? And we're in 2023 right now. They have 2 children together as well. Now, these energetic cords and the impact that a man's energy has on a woman is even stronger when she births his child. You want to know why? And not even when she births his child, but when he ejaculates inside of a woman, this energy is amplified than just when you're just coming together. Maybe you had protected sex, you're coming together, there's a little bit of a barrier there energetically, but baby, best believe when a man has conceived life with you, whether that baby was born full term, whatever, when a man has conceived life with you, that energy is deeper. Okay. So they have 2 adult children together. They've been married since the 90s. Now, we don't really know the ins and outs of their relationship at all. But what I can tell you from a little, listening to different podcasts, listening to different perspectives, supposedly in Will Smith's book, he wrote that he doesn't believe in divorce, right? Y'all have all heard right now what's happening with them. Jada Pinkett Smith came out and said they've technically been separated since like 2006, 2007. And they're not getting a divorce because they don't believe in that. Now, Will Smith wrote in his autobiography book that he did not believe in divorce. Why he didn't believe in divorce is because he grew up with an abusive father who used to beat his mother. And when he was younger, Will Smith felt like he couldn't do anything about it. So he got this wound with him. He got this spirit with him of abuse. That he's transmuted in his mind to think that it means that he has to be with a woman forever, protect her forever, all of that stuff like that. But in his book, he said that his ex-wife even confessed and said that when she tried to get a divorce from Will, he told her that he don't believe in divorce. But everybody's going off on Jada Pinkett Smith right now because she is spewing that rhetoric when we know and understand that they have been sexually intimate for many, many years. So when they first got together, she could have very well believed in divorce. Like, you know what? This relationship, and I'm pretty sure she did believe in divorce because if you look at her mother and her mother's experience, and we listen to Jada right now, an open relationship, and August Alsina and all of them, she probably was fine with not being technically married. But when women are sexually intimate with a man for years and years and years and years and years, and they have kids together, their minds change. I don't want y'all to think that this is just a theory. I don't want you to think that it's just, she just learned from him. She just decided that she was going to do better. She just decided that she was going to be different. No, listen to what I'm telling you. See, we got to stop resisting this, okay? And if y'all join the Womb Alchemy Womb Alchemy, if you join Liberate, my womb dearmoring workshop that's happening this Sunday, I'm going to give you more details. I can't spill all the beans right now, right? I got to save some of the beans for the workshop, right? Because I got some examples to show y'all and to tell y'all. What I want you to understand is that a woman may enter a relationship. She's so headstrong. She's so confident. She's so smart. And I'm not saying that those things completely go away. But the longer she remains intimate with a man, let's say he's actually mentally ill and unstable. And maybe that it's just not on the surface, right? You can't just obviously see that this man is battling some certain demons. Okay? The longer she engages with that energy, with that spirit, the more that spirit becomes a part of her. Now she's changing, she's evolving, she's becoming something different. Okay? And let me tell you, this is scientifically proven. All right? Violin Girl says she said in an interview she didn't want marriage, but she was pregnant and her mom pushed her to marry. All still spirits and energies, right? All still spirits and energies. Even her mom pushing her to get married and her deciding to be married and to follow that path. She made an agreement with a certain energy, with a certain spirit to walk, to live that life. So, and that's the good thing. I'm glad you said that. Because what I want y'all to know is that the point of doing the Liberate Womb Dearmoring class is to help you ladies see that it's not just the man you're sexually active with that armors your womb or that causes you to have different womb things going on. How you relate to other women does that too. All right. So somebody brought up Sexy Red, right? And we just found out she's pregnant, right? You just saw all over the internet that Sexy Red is pregnant. And Dream and I are talking about it, talking about this concept that I'm sharing with y'all. And he's like, yeah, well, two separate men posted things about Sexy Red. Like one man posted a picture of her, one man posted the video, and now she's pregnant, right? So when he's telling me this, and especially me being a pregnant woman right now, I start to feel the energy in my own womb of what she's been doing. I start to feel the energy of what she's even putting in her songs. See, a lot of times, ladies, we think, oh, I just got this soul tie with this man. No. When your best friend experiences abuse, you armor your womb. Really think about that. If your best friend came to you and said, yeah, so-and-so did this to me, you as a woman, because we all are a part of this cosmic womb, this great mother womb, this great creative force, you as a woman are going to energetically shield your womb. You're going to feel like you need to protect yourself. Has that ever happened to you ladies? Where you hear a story, somebody, even in birth, you could hear a traumatic birth story and your womb gets hard. Your womb gets solid. Your womb starts to take in this energy. See, ooh, this, y'all better understand how this works. You better understand how this works because it ain't no joke. It's no joke. So womb armor and your womb aura is not even just about how you engage with a man. It's also about how you engage with women. Just like you could have a friend tell you, ooh, girl, I had the best time last night. Oh, Tyrone, he did this, and this. And you're going to be like, ooh, girl, he did? Ooh, girl, what happened? You're going to feel everything that she's saying, right? Has that ever happened to y'all ladies? You and your homegirl talking, and she telling you about what so-and-so did. And you like, girl, that sounds fun. Why? It's because we have a cosmic womb. And just the realness of it is that we are hearing about more trauma, more baby daddies not taking care of their kids, more, toxic relationships, manipulative relationships, narcissistic relationships. We're hearing more about that, which is a government plot, we can say, but we're hearing more about that than we're hearing about the pleasure. You're hearing more about all of the issues, Blueface and Krishan Rock, okay, Sexy Red, and all of that. You're hearing more about that than you're hearing about the sensual, powerful, spiritual essence of sexuality. And so because you're hearing more of that, your womb is getting harder and harder and harder and more protected and more protected and more protected and more guarded, because that's how we are set up, right? I like to call it an energetic chastity belt, because that's what it really is. We energetically put chains across our womb. You may still be with your partner. Y'all may still be getting it on and doing your thing. But are you fully relaxed? Have you opened up like the lotus flower? Are you experiencing that pleasure, right? Are you triggered before, during, or after? Do you experience pain, irritation, anger, sadness in the midst of all of that? Because all of that is symbolic and representative of a spiritual energy that is at play during your sexual experience. All right? Good stuff. Let's keep going, okay? We don't really know who's manipulating who when it comes down to Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. We don't know. But what I can tell you is that her mind has been changed by him. That's an absolute fact. There's no way around that. There's no way around that. Okay? Look at this picture. All of y'all have seen this picture before. Most of you have seen this picture before. And it's scary. This is a scary ass looking picture, but it is a very real depiction of what this is. Okay? It's a very real depiction of how when you are intimate with someone, even if it's not sexually, sometimes you can have such a deep emotional connection with someone that they leave little seeds inside of you. Okay? They touch you in such a way. And of course, they can be touching you with love and light, or they can be touching you with darkness and frustration and everything else. That's just how it goes energetically. Okay? That's just how it is. So as you see in this picture, this woman's body is filled with all of these energies, with all of these spirits, with all of these attachments. And sometimes, yes, you do get attachments that will snatch you up based off of association. Okay? This is so juicy. So imagine you got a homegirl. I'm always talking to the ladies. It just is what it is, because that's who I serve, right? Imagine you got a homegirl and she is in her quote unquote whole phase. She's in this time in her life where she's like, I don't care about body counts. I'm going out here. I'm living my best life. Let's say you got that homegirl, and you and this homegirl, y'all be out. Y'all be kicking it. Y'all go to hookah bar together. You'll probably, hit the club together. Y'all just be kicking it. And she's in that spirit. She's in that energy. Birds of a feather flock together. You've heard it all before. And it's not because you want to be that person, but the environment cultivates that spirit, cultivates that energy, makes that energy stronger. And guess what? It can jump from body to body. Like Chris Brown said, we can be body to body. This is real talk. At my mother's blessing, my Mother's Way blessing that just happened on my birthday 2 weeks ago. Shout out to my brother whose birthday is today. At my mother's blessing, my biological mother had given me a little speech, right? She was just telling me um, what she was proud of, so on and so forth. And one of my homegirls was doing the same thing, and my homegirl had said, thank you, D, for being the spiritual person that you are, for being able to do this, and this, because I had essentially a few years ago, I had made contact with her brother in the astral realm who had just passed away. I had made contact with him, or he made contact with me. Let's say it that way. He made contact with me, gave me a message to give to her. I gave the message to her. And when she told me thank you for that, it made me cry. And it made me cry, y'all, because, we were talking about this. I don't know if we were talking about this in Patreon or if we were talking about this on Dreams and Desires. But it made me cry because I used to hide behind this mask of, I used to hide my spiritual self. Let me say it that way. Like that part of me that sees spirits, that part of me that sees energies, that part of me that sees beyond the veil, right? I would hide that in front of certain friends. And so when this friend said that to me, it made me cry because she had told me that she appreciated it and she was thankful for it. And in my crying, of course, my mother, who's still being my mother, even though we have this mother's blessing and we're good, it's a safe space. She's like, well, Desiree, what those friends don't know that was shaming you about your gifts, and I didn't even know. She said, what they don't know is that the spirit that was walking with you was protecting them. My mama said that, y'all, and it was a whole bar. I was like, damn, that's deep. She said, yeah, the spirit, the energy, the gift that you have was a protective shield for all of your friends when y'all would be doing stuff y'all ain't had no business doing. Drinking and driving, smoking weed, at parties that's getting shot up. The energy that was with me and the energy that is with me was a protective shield for them who did not have that spirit. So you have to understand that the same thing happens on the quote unquote negative or low vibrational side. This energy can be so big, this energy can be so heavy, this energy can be so powerful that it shields and blocks your energy and really infiltrates your energy. Okay? So that's why you got to be careful also with the people that you're spending a lot of your time with. It's like being around a person who's depressed and suicidal. You're thinking, oh, that's my friend, that's my family. I gotta be there with them. I gotta be there for them. That's my family. I gotta da 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 da. But every time they leave your house, you're feeling depressed. Why? That spirit, that body snatcher, has attached to your energy. So you have to understand that. That's why y'all need to be getting y'all some Ganesha sprays. You can't walk around everywhere Palo Santoing and saging. That's why you need to have a Ganesha spray, or you need to have a clearing spray of some sort, or you need to have a crystal. You need to have something that creates a protective shield and a protective barrier for you from these spirits who seek to steal, kill, and destroy. All right? So these things will jump inside your energy and you'll be like, ooh, what's going on? That's because you're not you. You're not you. And so these things can happen by association, but the depth of it, there's two very deep ways that it happens. Obviously, it happens through the bloodline, through the lineage, the mother, the father, right? The family, generationally. But then the next biggest thing that is right up there with that is sexuality. When you're bumping and grinding and you're becoming one with someone. So you got to pay attention to that. And you got to ask yourself, am I equipped to deal with the spirit that this person carries? Do I have the spiritual power, the spiritual authority to transmute this energy? And that's what I'm going to be teaching, ladies, this Sunday in the Liberate Womb De-armoring class. I'm going to be teaching you how to tap into your authority, open up that chastity belt, and let these energies out. Here's something that's so deep, ladies, is that we will hold these spirits captive and we don't even know it, right? Your vibration has raised, you're thinking differently, But there's a part of you that is still attached to this old relationship. How do you know that you still have this attachment? There's, your ex will pop up or something like that, and he get on your nerves. He still, you can't stand to see his page on Facebook. You like, he get on my nerves. He make my skin crawl. That's because you're still energetically connected to him. You haven't actually set him free from your womb. Why? Because you got womb armor, womb protection, right? You've learned a hard lesson with this person. You've tightened up your womb because you're like, that's never going to happen to me again. But what you don't understand is that you're trapping the energy instead of setting it free. We're going to talk about that in the Liberate Womb De-armoring class. So be there or be square. Matter of fact, I'm going to take this as an opportunity to drop the link in the chat for y'all before we keep going. And listen, let me tell y'all this. Spirit told me to do this. I'm so excited about this. For all the ladies that join the class and that come, you have to be there in person, right? I want you to be there in person. And let me also say this. If you cannot be there in person, that's okay. It will be recorded. You will be able to, how do I say? I will be sending out the replay. All right. I will be sending out the replay immediately when it's done. So I just dropped the link there for y'all to join if that's what you feel like you need to do. But for all the ladies that come in person, I'm going to do a giveaway for everybody that is there in person. If you're there in person, you will have the opportunity to possibly win a 1-hour consultation with me. So if you be there, you could be a lucky winner to not only get this great information that is going to be healing and transformative for you, but also we can have some one-on-one time about this energy. All right. Let me answer this question real quick, and then we're going to keep going. Is it possible for one to be connected and the other to not? Ooh, see, that's a good question. That is a good question. I don't know how I want to answer that right now because that is something that I'm going to be deeply talking about in the Liberate Deep Womb De-armoring class. Whew, that's a good one, though. I love that question. In short, I don't even know how I want to position it because I have real-time experience with that. June the Great, if you're a woman, I'm going to say join the class. If you're a woman, I'm going to say join the class to get that information. It's the complex answer. Let me just say that, because you have to think when we're spiritually, energetically connected with someone, it's happening on 3 levels. Let me explain this to you. I'm going to say it to you this way. It's happening on 3 levels: the mental level, the emotional level, and the physical level. Now, of course, the mental level is here. The emotional level can be either your heart or your womb space, because obviously, if you're a man, it's the same thing, your lower region. Obviously, your chakras, your sacral chakra is your seat of emotion. So it's the mental level, the mind. You can be connected there, meaning you're thinking like this person, you're thinking about this person, right? Experiences you've had with this person continue to pop up in your mind. That's one way. The heart way and the emotional way, you think about them and you feel something, right? They still can trigger you emotionally when you think about them or you hear about them or you see them. That's the emotional way. And then obviously there's also a physical way, right? There's a physical way, meaning your body has literally manifested a certain sensation based off of your relationship with this person. So a person may be disconnected from you mentally, meaning they're not thinking about you per se. But if somebody pops up with their energy, they may feel something emotionally. Or a person may still be carrying a person's energy in the physical. So you would have to look at those 3 things and be able to determine. But I digress because I don't want to go any deeper because we're going to talk about that in the class. All right. I like the question, though. Really, really great question. Let's talk about this couple right here. Because Y'all let me know in the chat what y'all think about Yvette and Jody on Baby Boy. Because let me tell you, this is the spooky truth about the womb. This is why I got the whole horror background energy going on here with this presentation. Because when you look at this madness, it's scary, okay? This is scarier than Friday the 13th. This is scarier, 7/17. Hey, this is scarier than all of that. Let me tell you why. Look at Jody and Yvette. Let's think about Jody and Yvette. Multiple things come up. Y'all, did Jody have a job? Let me know in the chat. Did Jody have a car? Let me know in the chat. Was Jody even faithful? Let me know in the chat. Was Jody even physically, mentally, and emotionally safe for her? Let me know in the chat. The answer is absolutely to the hell no. And you know what? Just to even talk about how deep it is. When Jody went up in that room and she was, I hate you, Jody. I hate you, Jody. And he like hit her or pushed her or something. And she falls out on the bed. And he starts kissing her and giving her fellatio. Even though she's crying and beat up, all of us women felt that. I don't care how old or how young you were. And I was young when this movie came out. I was like an upper teenager or something when I first saw this. And I was just like, it made me cringe to look at how this man just handled her. And how she just, in her tears and in her trauma, still has sex with him, saying, I hate you, Jody. I hate you, Jody. This is the power that a soul tie has on a woman. Because guess what? This girl was like, let me smell your private parts. What kind of toxicity is that? She going to work getting bullied by her coworkers because they all talking about her man. She getting dropped off at the abortion clinic. This movie was one of the most toxic relationship displays ever. But it's also very beautiful because Yvette is not the only woman who has ever went through that and experienced that. Emotional abuse, physical abuse, mental abuse, cheating. Don't got nothing to offer but sexual energy, and it's unhealthy. And then Yvette says, I shouldn't be dealing with this, Jody. I'm tired of this, Jody. What does that mean? That means she knows in her mind and in her heart that he's full of shit. She knows that he is no good. But he has already influenced her so heavily through their sex that she can't even think straight and do something different. This is the power of a soul tie. This is the power of spiritual energy and that energy transference that happens. So because Jody didn't have nothing going for himself, selling stolen clothes, living with his mama, getting in a chokehold by his mama's boyfriend, okay? He has to project that pathetic, low vibrational energy. He has to give that information off to Yvette. Now she's driving in her own car, finding damn condom wrappers that she knows she ain't have. Now she's just accepting all types of bullshit that she knows is not in alignment with who she is. But that's what happens. That's the influence that sex has on women specifically. And let me tell you something. If there were to be a part 2 of Baby Boy, we would see Yvette continuously traumatized, not knowing how to have a relationship, not knowing how to trust anybody. She's messed up in the head at this point. She would have to go through so much womb alchemy, so much womb de-armoring, so much therapy. Do you know how much healing work she would have to be deliberately doing in order to let go of the spirit and the seed that he has implanted in her? The seed of infidelity, the seed of sexual deviancy, the seed of brokenness, the seed of abortion. Do you know how much work she would have to do? Oh my God, you just gotta laugh. You just gotta laugh at that. Wow. Shakila asked the question, where does this stem from? I'm glad you asked that because we go over that in womb alchemy. We may go over it a little bit in womb de-armoring. Just so I let y'all give y'all this understanding before I answer that question. Womb de-armoring is about understanding how do you let go of these influences that a man or even your relationships with other women, how do you let go of those influences from your womb so that you don't have this calcified womb, so that your sacred waters will flow, so that your creative energy will flow, so that you're emotionally balanced, so that you understand the difference between your rational mind and your emotional mind, so that you don't allow thoughts of insecurity, brokenness, not being good enough, so that you don't let all of that energy really reside in your being, right? That's what womb de-armoring is about. Because when you have experiences like Jody and Yvette, or like Will and Jada, or like Sexy Red, or when you hear about your best friend going through some drama and trauma within a relationship with a man, as women, we naturally start to stack these energetic layers on top of our womb. And it makes sex and sexuality challenging because there is this heavy energy connected to our womb space that has manifested by observing and experiencing these multiple levels of trauma. So womb de-armoring is about how do I soften this shield to therefore soften my womb and come back into the fullness of who I am as a divine, sacred, sensual flower, essentially. All right. But the way that that happens, where does that stem from? Okay. It starts as a small seed that may have been implanted by your mother, your father, and those childhood experiences of needing something. There's a void that needs to be filled. And when you are unconscious, you don't recognize that you have this void, that you have this vacancy, so to speak. And so these men and women do it too, will disguise themselves as what you need or as what is going to support you. But what they end up doing is exploiting that void. So if a woman struggled with security, she'll meet a man that will appear to be secure. He's secured himself. He's financially secure. He's all of these things. But energetically, what you are just attaching yourself to is what you have not mastered or what you don't have, or that thing that you're unconscious of about yourself. Okay. So for a lot of women, you have to really understand like how, why, how did I get here? And that's one of the very first steps is understanding how you got there so that you can give yourself some grace and so that you can be honest, and so that you can do the work to move on. All right. Great question. Definitely starts by there being a spiritual void, though. You know, there's a spiritual void there, some emptiness there, or even some karma. Okay. Let's also say that. Even some karma there, cause and effect. There's just energy that you need to transmute. So, a lot of ladies, this is so good because a lot of women have manifested unhealthy relationships because they needed to heal a certain aspect of themselves. And so this partner that they had will, like I said, exploit that or reveal that or make that come up in her. It's almost like his energy summons this spirit, right? It's like, come on out. It's time to play. Bring that shadow self out that you don't want to look at. All right. Let's keep going. We're almost at the end of this thing. Listen, this was so good because I want y'all to understand that this is scientifically proven. I got this from a medical journal. It literally says there's more to semen. There's more semen than sperm. Okay. Understand, semen is information. Okay. Sperm is just the vehicle for the information. Understand what I'm saying? So a man's fluids, the semen is the actual information. The sperm is just the vessel that information is essentially transferred in. All right. So it says in many animals, which human beings are animals, seminal fluid alters both the bodies and sometimes even the behavior of females. Do you understand that? Seminal fluid, meaning his brain fluid, the way he thinks, his thought forms. When he releases and ejaculates inside of a woman, whether he does that on purpose or accidentally, because we know that happens, right? When a man does that, it alters her physical body. Literally, her womb starts to change based off of the chemistry, based off of the makeup, okay? Based off of the protein makeup of his semen, it literally starts to change her body, sometimes for better, sometimes for worse. That's why a woman can be with a man and her vagina ain't never been more happy. She can go in another relationship and she got an angry vagina. Why? Because there's a chemistry, there's a combination of energies, mental, emotional, spiritual, and even physical, based off how he eat, how he drink, all of those things. There's a combination of his energy, his information that is being implanted in her womb. And no, it does not have to necessarily make a child. But her body starts to change and adjust based off of this relationship, based off of this coming together. All right. But it says not only does it change her body, it changes her behavior. Y'all better understand what's really happening here. Okay? You changing the way you act. That's why your friends be like, "Ooh, you acting different." That's that man. And they all gonna know it. All your friends gonna call you out and be like, "Girl, why you acting so funny? You changed." That's that man. Okay? That's that man. And it's not necessarily just what he's saying. It's unspoken language that impacts a woman. I give you a great example of this. There be times, y'all, when I may have some work to do. And Dreamwise and I, as a married couple, would be intimate, you know, because that's what married couples do, right? And at first, I won't have no mental energy to put into my work. I'm like, I can't even think straight. I don't know what to do. And then we come together as husband and wife. And before you know it, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what to write about. Now I'm on the computer at 3:00 in the morning, typing up a whole presentation for y'all. When before that encounter, honey, my mind, I was distracted, overthinking, mind got so much stuff going on, but we come together. his energy and his understanding of what I'm trying to do and what we need within our family impacts my mind. And now I instantly got the download in the channel and I can see clearly what I need to be putting out. That's real talk. All right. So it changes the behavior, right? Human semen too triggers changes in the uterus, and it might have wide effects on women aimed at just one goal. So on the very basic human level, the goal is to reproduce. But nothing is just human, right? Because we are multidimensional beings. So everything has many, many layers in multi dimensions. So on the human level, humans are coming together to reproduce, to experience that closeness, to experience that security. But this energy is also influencing the minds and the bodies of the women who are receiving it. Oh yes, I love I love this. I am infinite being said, this is why women always end up listening to the music the man listening to and taking his slang and using it. Absolutely. Right? There have been times, even there was this one time I scared myself. I literally scared myself, right? Our kids were acting up. I don't know what they were doing. They were just doing something they didn't have no business doing. And I literally like corrected them and said something to them to discipline them. And I heard myself sounding like Dream. And it scared me. I was like, oh shit, that ain't how I discipline them. That's how they daddy discipline them. Okay. So I'm speaking to y'all from experience of what this energy is, right? Let's keep going. So this is the thing though. This energy could be for better or for worse, right? Now, again, these are celebrities, so we don't really know. But what I do know right now is that Beyonce just made $1 billion. Okay. Beyonce just made $1 billion on tour, the Renaissance tour. Jay-Z was on every tour at every concert with her. Their beautiful daughter is up there. They'll never take my power, right? She up there like this, y'all. She up there like this. She up there going hard. She, you know, give her mom the fist and that's the influence of a powerful, intentional man. I ain't saying, listen, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that this couple is perfect because we don't know the ins and outs of their lives. But what I do know is that Beyonce just killed that Renaissance tour and she's been a superstar. But Beyonce didn't become the superstar that she is until her and Jay-Z got together. Now, I'm not saying that Jay-Z is the only reason. Okay? I'm not saying he's the only reason, but I am definitely saying he amplified her greatness. He had to. They got children together. They got children together. Been married since 2008. It's 2023. Based off of everything that I've shared with y'all up until this point, Jay-Z has to be a very powerful and important part in how Beyonce can pull off the Renaissance tour, going absolutely everywhere she did, got everybody wearing tinfoil and cowboy hats, got their daughter on stage doing her thing. There's no way around it. Yes, she's a superstar already. We knew she was great when she was a part of Destiny's Child. But it seemed like when they got together, and he put that influence, however many different, how old different age range. They got a major age range difference too. Age difference between Jay-Z and Beyonce. 12 years apart. What? Absolutely. Absolutely. Her mind, her body, her being has been influenced by Jay-Z. No way around it. So when a woman gets connected with a man who's not perfect, because there's no such thing as a perfect human, We're all perfect in spirit, imperfect in humanity, right? That's the polarity of it. Nobody's saying that anybody that you are with has to be perfect. They don't have to be. I'm not perfect. Dream's not perfect. You, your husband, your wife, whoever, not going to be perfect. Whether you get them today or get them tomorrow, perfection is not going to happen within humanity. Why? Because we're dealing with a lot of spirits out here. Because we've all experienced trauma that has impacted the way we think and feel. So nothing is ever going to be perfect, right? But at the very least, you have to be connected to somebody who's willing to address their spirits, their entities, their attachments, their addictions, their thought forms. And clearly, when we heard Jay-Z's 444, Beyonce's Renaissance, Beyonce's Black is King, Beyonce's Lemonade, all of these albums that she released was really a display of their spirits, their battles, their demons, them overcoming it, them being revived. Like if you are connected to somebody who is desiring to really address their spirits, not just talk about it, but I'm talking about actually transmute that energy and learn how to integrate it in a healthy way, you can have a relationship that is going to grow, that is going to prosper, and that is going to support you in your healing. But a lot of times, ladies, you are not even in the space to attract that because your womb is so guarded. Dream Wise and I got together at a very precious time. I would say in my life and his life too. I think he had already got out his whole phase or whatever they call it. But I would say for me, he said something to me that was important. That is, I want to explain this to y'all why it's so real. He said to me, when I met you, you were smiling, and 4 years later, you're still smiling. That was important because he met me while I was 18. We were working at 24-Hour Fitness. He was a personal trainer. I was the front desk receptionist, and I was young and naive. I was smiling so much because I was naive as hell. Okay, let's just be real. I was naive, and I didn't have the resting bitch face. Like a lot of women have that resting bitch face, and they're not approachable. And the reason why that resting bitch face, nah, sis, it's not just your face. Oh, that's just how my face is positioned. No, that's not just how your face is positioned. You've experienced a lot of trauma, and so you unconsciously hold tension. Oh, come on, spirit. You've experienced a lot of trauma, so you unconsciously hold tension in your jaws, which it has been scientifically proven that the jaws and the womb are directly connected. So the tension you are holding in your resting bitch face is also tension you're holding in your sexual energy. It's also tension that you're holding in your womb. We gotta get real about this. You think you just got a resting bitch face, that's just who I am. No. This whole area, you can Google this and research this. As above, so below. A woman who has a throat that is shut down, jaws that are locked, also has a womb that is shut down and a womb that struggles to experience pleasure and creative flow. I ain't gonna keep going too deep in that because I'm gonna talk about it a little bit deeper in class in the workshop on Sunday. I'm gonna talk about that on Sunday. I ain't gonna go there right now. But Dream Wise said that to me. You were smiling 4 years ago and you're smiling now. You want to know what that meant? What that meant on a spiritual level, what we're talking about is I was not influenced or impacted, or let me say it this way. I didn't fully recognize or fully allow the abuse and the trauma that I experienced during that time, during those 4 years, because I did experience trauma during that time. I actually experienced sexual assault during that time, during that 4 years. but I did not allow it to make me to become hard. I didn't allow it to put up a shell. Now, I did have some walls, right? And that's another thing that you ladies have to understand. We store trauma in the walls, right? While all of the, in your walls, ladies. I had walls, energetic walls, and kind of thought forms and processes. I'm going to talk about it in detail on Sunday. Not going to share it all here today. But for the most part, I did not allow that trauma to harden me. And that's why a lot of you women should be joining the Liberate Womb De-armoring course. Because if you know that you're hard, you're guarded, you're super protected, you got these walls up, trust and believe you have walls, energetic armor around your womb. And this not only blocks your sexual pleasure, this blocks your creative energy. Where sex becomes triggering, this thing that is supposed to be enjoyable and liberating and healing, it becomes triggering before, during, or after. Or, like I said, you can't get over this other person, they make you mad or you whatever. It's just because their energy is trapped. All right. So that's the end of this build. Y'all, if you have not joined the Liberate Womb De-armoring workshop, you need to go ahead and do that. Like I said, for all the ladies that come there in person, whether you are already a client of mine or not, because I know some of my coaching clients are already in here, which is great. If you're there in person, I'm still going to put your name in, whether you working with me for 6 weeks or 12 weeks or however long you've been working with me. If you win it, just add another session to the back end of your sessions, okay? And, yeah, I want to do that. I want to be able to support one lucky lady one-on-one. And then if you want to know more about womb alchemy, the full 5-week course on womb healing, you'll get to learn more about that in the workshop, okay? You'll get to learn more about that in the workshop, all right? That's my time with y'all, family. It's been such a pleasure. I appreciate y'all for spending this time with me. When we get off of here, let me know in the comments what was the most interesting part to you. Let me know what was the most like, ooh, girl, that's juicy. Okay. Let me know, because this was a very real, intense conversation. Before I go, if there's any more questions, do you have a book? I do have a book. I have 2 books, actually. Not a book on this topic, but you bringing it up, June the Great, makes me feel like I should write a book on the topic, because I got some pretty intense, let's say, history with it. And I definitely will, in the Liberate Womb De-armoring class, I'll be talking about my own experiences, of course. But I have a book. I have 2 books. The book about, I have a book called Womb Alchemy, which is about healing your womb. And then I have a book called 7 Steps to Manifesting the Relationship of Your Dreams. Both of those books can be purchased on my website. It's ebooks, easy access. Right when you buy, it's an automatic download. Let's see. Any more questions? Caprell says the resting bitch face was powerful. Yeah, and it's very real. It is absolutely very real. He said we need one for the brothers. You know what? I'm going to work on one for the brothers. That's definitely going to happen, because DreamWise has definitely been a case study for me. The Niley experience. Yes, sis. I'm glad for the workshop. Yes, it will be recorded. It will be recorded. Everybody that signs up will be able to, everybody that signs up will get the recording when it is done. And let me tell y'all, I always recommend join the class live, because the downloads that come through live be hitting totally different than, and I'm not saying like if you can't make it, or let's say you got to leave early because you got to work, that's absolutely fine. The playback is still going to be great, but baby, the playback is still going to be great, but baby, in person, it's something fiery about it. But yes, there will be a playback. I will be sending it out right when we're done and everything gets all loaded. I'm going to be sending it out to everybody who join the class. So you will be able to listen back to it. All right. I'm not seeing any more questions. So y'all have an amazing what's today? Wednesday. Y'all have an amazing Wednesday night. Shout out to all the Libra babies. Today is my brother's birthday, so I'm gonna get off of here and call him, see how his day is going. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see y'all on Sunday in class. And then y'all make sure y'all show up to Dreams and Desires because we be having provocative conversations like this one. All right, we'll talk soon. Peace.